Good afternoon, Indiethon. We're back with some more awesome runs for you to watch. We have Super Meat Boy by Jankmo. Take it away.
Alright, this is Super Meat Boy any percent. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Super Meat Boy, your classic 2010 indie platformer. The idea is you're playing as Meat Boy and you're trying to rescue Bandit Girl from Dr. Fetus. Every time it appears you get to her at the end of the level, but Dr. Fetus will just take her away from you. So you kind of have to just chase her through all the levels of the game. You'll notice sometimes I seem to be pausing randomly like I did in level 4, and that's to activate a glitch called auto jump, which basically auto fires a jump button and allows you to jump on every frame. So I'm about to do it in this next level coming up after this. And this next level, there's going to be a skip where I jump around the saw. And after this level, 14, I'm actually going to exit the map. The reason being is because we only need to beat 17 levels to unlock the boss to go into the next chapter. And we want to do the fastest 17 levels. And it's actually faster to do this level right here instead of the level that we skipped. So onto the boss, Little Slugger. This is like basically just like a 31-second auto-scroller. This game is kind of notorious for its boss design because they had like a week to design all of them, so most of them were kind of like just like auto-scrollers, or like not super engaging bosses. So we just gotta get to the end and wait. So that is the end of the first chapter of the forest. It's basically like your tutorial chapter that just shows you the basics of the game. It shows you like how to move and that like saw blades are bad. So on to the next level, or the next chapter of the hospital. So every chapter has like its own theme of hazards going on. So in the forest we mostly had saw blades and saw blade launchers. Here we have like needles that are like everywhere, like on the floor and on the ceiling here. This next level introduces fans, which kind of just they'll blow you away from them and give you some momentum, but also if you get too close to them they will chop you up, so you gotta be careful about that. That was... want me up. Yeah, levels with fans can be kind of tricky to optimize because it can be kind of difficult to get just the right amount of momentum from them. This level introduces these like red guys everywhere. And this level is like a silhouette level, so something cool about this game is sometimes they will like play around with the colors of the levels, and this level is basically like all black, which is pretty cool. This level coming up introduces these keys, which will unlock areas, so there's gonna be a lot of levels like this where kind of have to go to the end of the level, grab a key, and then backtrack to the start where Bandit Girl was. That level's pretty cool. You kind of just get the key, and then you just wait. Pretty tight timing to optimize it, though. This level, there are these floating purple guys. Same with here. There's like fans, and we're going to cruise a little bit through here, and in this level I'm actually going to do something noteworthy here. I'm going to try to end this level on the wall, or touch Bandit Girl on the wall, and that gives us something called Storage Jump. And combined with Auto Jump, it allows us to get a pretty tight cycle here that we normally wouldn't be able to get. So basically how Storage Jumps work is, whenever you load into a level, whether that be like through entering it or dying, you'll get... the state that Meat Boy is in is stored for 1 frame. So here's the second boss, Chad. A pretty cool skip that I'm getting here. So normally, when you in that second key area, the screen will basically will actually stop scrolling. But if you're fast enough with getting the key, you can actually skip waiting there. So. Yep. Done with Hospital, on to the next chapter, the Salt Factory. So, can we get some PJ Salts in chat? So as you can tell, probably, the main obstacle here is going to be Salt. The lore is that Meat Boy is basically a boy born without skin, so Salt is very hazardous to him. And this level reads conveyor belts, which you're either going to be running against them, or running with them, or against them, and they will affect your momentum. And in this next level, we can actually utilize jumping into them to gain more height than we're supposed to. Or I can do it wrong. Okay, normally you actually just skip that third belt, but that was weird. This level has a pretty interesting skip I'm going to try to do. Dang it. I didn't get it. Oh, I didn't go high enough. Alright, just giving me another shot at it. Giving me another shot at it. Oh, so close. I was trying to set up, like a frame-perfect, slide on that conveyor belt to give me, a little bit of momentum, or, like, a lot of momentum to actually just fly straight to the end, so if you're good, you can actually, skip using that third conveyor. There's also these, heat-seeking missiles, which can be annoying casually, but as long as you're, like, moving fast, they shouldn't be too much of an issue. And after this level, we're actually going to exit the map again. To skip levels 12 and 13. So both of those levels are pretty long auto-scrollers, and there is a skip on one of the levels that we can do instead. And if we get it, we actually save time over doing those two levels. This level, Mono, has a pretty tight skip that I'll try, like, once maybe. Nice. This level, you're kind of just going up and down. And this is the level with the skip I'm going to try to do. Nice, I got it. Alright, so if you do that skip, you do save time over doing levels 12 and 13. But if you miss it, you lose like 6 seconds. So on to the chapter boss Brownie. This is supposed to be like a race, but we can actually just skip it by jumping around here. It's important to note that we do something there called a sprint jump. So normally if you go too far off screen, you will die, but when you do a sprint jump, which is where you jump sprintless and then sprint as you jump, you can stay just close enough to the wall to stay in bounds. So on to the next chapter, Hell. This is considered the hardest chapter in the run. There's a lot of really crazy strats I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to try to show as many of them as I can. Like, one in this next level after this. Oh, man. I couldn't even get to that part. Couldn't even get to the hard part, come on. Okay, sure. Sure, Hex. Alright, I guess we're not doing it. Because I kind of trolled a little bit at not even the hard part. Yeah, there's lava everywhere and fireballs. Yeah, typical Hell. Okay, this next level, let's try to get the skip. Or the really hard skip. Oh, come on, that was so close. Oh, dang. No rickets. So I tried to do a strat there called double rickets. You can do some pretty tight jumps between the saws. It is considered the hardest strat ever implemented in the 90% run. Very few people actually go for it. I think only like the top 2 players, or top 2 90% runners go for it. Now we have portals, which casually they're kind of weird because they don't really telegraph exactly where they're going to take you. And there's also like these eye lasers that will track you. In this level we're gonna like try to jump around this laser. This level we're actually gonna do some pretty tight jumps to skip some cycles. And this level introduces these like homing demon missiles. Can I get the key? Oh, this is scary. But those homing demon missiles that whenever they explode, they'll like shoot out little ones that still kill you, but after this level we are actually going to exit because levels 2 and 18 are very long, and this is level 19. We're going to try to do some swag. This is normally supposed to be an easy level, but gotta go for swag and marathons, right? Shout out to Crew Crux for that strat. So on to the next boss, Little Horn. This boss is basically about memorizing his attack patterns, but what you can actually do is like you can just stand here and jump 3 times, so... This is actually the one main break in the run, so... Toast, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I would just like to remind people that we have some incentives outstanding. Coming up in just a couple of runs' time, we have Rainbow Billy, Curse of the Leviathan. You have all been amazing and smashed the first goal that we set to pet the dog once, but to pet the dog again is still $150 short of being met, and I think we can all agree that dog needs petting.
Alright, so on to the second to last chapter that we're going to be doing, and basically the last full chapter of the game, Rapture. So unfortunately, when we skip the Little Horn cutscene, there's going to be like a little white flash in the next level that we load. And this level that we're doing, 5-1, happens to have a pretty tough jump that you basically have to do blind, and I missed it, so I can't get the fast cycle, unfortunately. I'm not feeling it. I'm waiting for that. Oh yeah, this is the last full chapter, with 20 levels. I guess I'm not doing that strat. There are like these repulsors. I almost died there again. Funny. This is like a major run killer because all of these levels are very long, so deaths are very costly. And it is also the chapter that has the most RNG. There's also these like switches that when you hit them, it'll cause these blocks to disappear, and they'll also eventually reappear. This next level coming up is kind of particular because there are some falling keys that we have to catch. And, well, this first key you can miss. If you miss the second key, though, it will fall into a pit and you can't finish the level, so you'll have to restart if that happens. So, once we're done with this level, we're going to skip level 8, which is a pretty long auto-scroller, and go straight into 5-9, which introduces these abomination meat boy things, which can be kind of annoying because their behaviors are kind of erratic and random, and sometimes you kind of just have to react to how they move, which can affect your times in levels. But on levels like this, you can like lure them into a saw blade and then get them killed, which is fun. On this level, I'm going to try to do some tight jumps at the start. To catch a pretty cool cycle at the end here. And this level, we're gonna have to jump around this, like, over this little portal thing. So that's a thing called a warp zone, which basically takes you into a little, like, place where you can do, like, 3 levels. There are some extra levels, but we don't want to be doing them. That warp zone is called Sunshine Island, and it's kind of like a meme in the community. Oh my god. I fall. It's kind of like a meme in the community, because it's like the only warp zone in the run that really gets in your way. This level, we're actually doing like an interesting skip here, so you're supposed to like grab keys normally, but you can kind of just jump around. This level has like these little like maggots everywhere. And this level has a big skip, which basically just turns it into a 2-second level. And this level has these like firing turrets, which fire alternating between like a cross pattern and a plus pattern. And after this level is the last level of the chapter. We get this key and we kind of just balance on this orb and wait for the locks to unlock. So onto the chapter boss Larry. So this is the one big RNG portion of the run that kind of determines whether or not you can PB, which is unfortunate. It's near the very end of the run, and you can manipulate them sort of by doing like what I did there, which is pausing the game. And basically, what that does is it desyncs one of the worms and forces it to act independently of the others. Because normally only one worm can jump per cycle, but if you do what I did there, which is pausing, you can basically make one of them act on its own. So this is not a very good area. Unfortunate. I can actually tell when he might jump because like the little dust cloud, like that was a thicker dust cloud, so when that happens, he'll either burrow or jump. But if it's a thinner one, he won't jump. He'll just stick his head out. But yeah, that was a pretty bad Larry. But on to the last chapter we end. There's 5 levels here, and we have to do all of them. All of them have, like, pretty major skips in them. And also dying, apparently. So there was a skip where I just, like, jumped around there, jumped around the saw. Here, we kind of just have to do it. There's not really any, like, cool skip we can do. This level has an interesting cycle I'm gonna try to do. It's pretty tight. And I get it, which is cool. This level has a pretty spooky cycle. Oh, come on, are you serious? I choked it. Rip. Alright, second try, come on. Nice. Alright, so this is the last level, Omega. Oh wow, I got that. Pretty swag 6-tile jump there. There are some skips here, like jumping through the top here, and also here, where we got this strat called Keyless. So that actually skips like getting a key that you're supposed to get with like a really tight jump. And here's the final boss, Dr. Fetus. So this is another auto-scroller. What we're actually going to do is we're actually going to jump... You're supposed to be sandwiching between stealth towers. We're going to jump over the one in front of us. And basically just do a little bit more platforming. Get to the end. And at the end here, there's going to be a button to collapse this bridge. So you might be thinking, like, oh, you jumped over the saw, you jumped over the saws, and This is not going to sub 20. So... You jumped over the saws, but they're going to kill you, but for some reason, when you're standing on a button like I am, you gain invincibility, so the saw won't actually kill you. So time is coming up once I get to the end here and trigger the ending cutscene. Time.
GG.
Thank you. So, there's like a little game that we like to play where we guess the amount of deaths. I don't think we have much time for it, but I'll show how many times I died anyway. But shout outs to the Super Meat Boy community. We do have a Discord with a pretty sizable community with a lot of really great and helpful people. And 12 deaths. Dang. And also, definitely look forward to the Bug Fables run, which I will be closing this marathon out with. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for doing that amazing run. It was a 20:09 if you're interested. And just want to say that we are sponsored by Team 17. They are an independent indie developer and publisher, and have kindly provided us with an awesome grand prize. Team 17 and Playside Studios' Dark Fantasy Survival RTS game, Age of Darkness Final Stand, is in Steam Early Access now. And visit their website, team17.com, to check out their full roster of indie games. That is the end of my hosting shift for this marathon. I'll be leaving you in the capable hands of Ishma, and he has a Spelunky run coming up next. So we'll just go to a brief intermission, you'll watch an ad, and we'll be back with that.